Hi guys, my name is Zen and this is Maybe Bonsai. Today we're going to be looking at this Schefflera, which is I think long overdue for pruning. All the branches has grown quite long and it has been growing for the whole summer. I didn't do much to it. I think I last pruned it at the top. There's a trunk chop inside. You probably can't see it. And I repotted it here into this pot on a slant, and basically I just let it grow and I haven't touched it since. But I think it's time for me to take this back a bit as it is growing really vigorously. And the roots are coming out everywhere. At the top, there's some roots coming out at the bottom as well. So I'm going to see how much roots are in the pot. Hopefully I could get this out easily. And then we'll go from there. I don't think it needs a repotting because this was just repotted a year ago. So hopefully not, but we'll see how much roots is in here and we'll decide once we get there. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, before I even do anything here, I'm going to try to take this out and see how much roots is inside. And I don't think this is going to budge. So I'm going to use my new root rake. It has this spatula at the end, even though it's quite thick. It's not really thin, so I don't know if I can get this out. But let's see if it does, see if it works. This is the first time that I'm ever doing this with a spatula, trying to get a tree out of the pot. So I'm not sure if this is the right technique or not, but that's what I see people doing. So we'll see if this works. Okay, we'll try it again. Oh, well, it's working. It starts to move. Oh my God. It's coming. It's just there we go. Okay, so there's a lot of roots here. I guess I will repot this because there's just roots everywhere. I didn't think it would grow this much roots in a year, but this is a lot more than expected. Okay, so I guess what I'll do is I'll rake this out and I'll put it back in this pot. I'm going to change the soil. This is the soil, my original soil, which is the same as Nigel soil from the Bonsai zone. A mix of perlite and what's it called? The safety absorb, but it's a turfus. Yeah, turfus. Okay, so the screens on the bottoms are fine. Let me just empty this out. And okay, I guess the pot is, there's a lip and it kind of curves under, which is why I think I had so much difficulty getting this out. And I don't think I have another pot that kind of fits the tree. Because ideally, I kind of don't like this lip coming over it because then it's really hard to get the tree out. But that's okay, I'll put it back in here and we'll deal with it next time. I'm gonna have to repot. Actually, I'm going to put it in this pot, which already has soil, and it's the new kind of soil that I got. It's a more of a recyclable soil in a way. It's already full, so I'm just going to use this pot. This is a Chinese-made pot that I got from the shipment. I don't think I showed this before, but it's got some pictures and stuff. But this is, I think, it's made in a mold because somebody mentioned it how they make it. Where the legs at the bottom, it's caved in from inside of the pot, which indicates it's made from a mold, which means that it's, I guess, mass produced in a way. But anyway, I'll give it a go, I'll try it in a different pot, different looking pot, and see how it looks. So I'm going to cut this, not cut this, but prune this first. Okay, so the last time I did this, I think this is the original tree. I think this is the original tree, and then the top I simply pruned off. Pruned off over there, right there, there's a big scar. And then I planted on the angle. So these two branches here, this one and this branch are new branches that develop on the sides, and they're not opposite branches, as you can see. They're, one is below the other a little bit, and this is the new leader that came out, which I guess is okay. So I'm just gonna generally prune this back because this is still a young tree. It's years away from anything significant. So I'm just gonna take it back. Let me see here. I'll take it back to here for this. There's a leaf pointing this way. So I think that's what I'll go for. It's hopefully something from there will develop. Now these Scheffleras, they root quite easily, but I don't really need any more of these, so I'm not going to root these. I don't know. Should I? No. No, I got enough tropicals, so I don't have room for these, so I'm not going to do that. But if you want more of these, you can just plug them into the soil, or even put them in water. They'll eventually root, or grow the callus, and you can root them afterwards. But yeah, they root very easily. This one, there is a branch going out this way, and I'll take it off just above it, so hopefully I get a branch going that way. So this is the branch. Now for the leader. So on the leader there is a branch here, right there. I think, well, it's a good direction that it's going, but it's a bit high where I get this part with no movement or any kind of taper. So I think what I'll try is for this branch, this leaf instead, which is coming out this way, going back towards us, or from this angle at least. If it develops a branch there, it will give me some movement coming back, because right now it's going that way and then it can turn back. So I'll try that. Taking out the whole top. Actually, I need to make sure I prune back more, because there's the leaf bud right there. I'll get rid of it. Okay. So that's all I'm going to do for the pruning. It's a quick job. There's only a total of 3 branches, including the leader. So next up, I'm going to use my new root rake and see how it works. I've never used it yet for any project. So I think this will be a good test to see how good it is, or how bad it is. Okay, so all this moss, I'm not going to save. I think it would be just too much work to save them. And indoors, they don't really grow that well. I mean, I'm surprised these are green. Okay, so anyway, let's rake this out. So these work quite well so far. It's effortless to get these stuff out. So I've noticed that with the moss on top, it's very easy for the roots to grow into the moss. I guess the moss holds moisture, and the roots really like that kind of moisture, where it's humid and it's not wet. So they tend to grow into the moss a lot. I thought about defoliating this tree because it's super vigorous. The leaves are, original size. But since I'm repotting, I'm not going to do anything here. Wow, look at this thing. Very long root. I'm sure most of that will go. The bottom looks quite flat, which is good. That's what I wanted. All right, so I'm going to wash this a bit to figure out what's going on here, and we'll most likely prune some of the thick roots off. So I'll give it a wash and we'll go from there. All right, I got the roots all washed off. I'm going to remove some of these leaves that are pointing to the bottom, so that's easier to see things. So right away, this big root, if not cut off, I'm going to at least remove most of it. So we'll get rid of the obvious stuff first. There's a big root here. Actually, a couple of them. There's a mess over here. Well, let's just shorten the roots first because I'm not sure what's going on inside. Shorten that, shorten this. So that, it looks like the roots are going in a kind of a swirl. So that's not good. Don't really want kind of a swirl. So what can we do here? Okay, so this thing here, it's got like two roots kind of curls around. I don't know what's going on there. This root actually, the one underneath actually looks pretty good, but the one on the top going over, it's weird. I will try to get rid of one on the top and see if that works, but I doubt I can. Oh, okay, that came up fairly easily. But it's got this bulge. Let's see if I could clean this up. You know what? I'm going to remove this whole top thing. Because there is a root coming down here, which goes in the a good direction. It is quite thick. and it's the only one that's this thick. So I think that's a bit unbalanced. So I'll take this thick one off. Yeah, maybe I'll leave it like that. The surface roots all look okay. And right now I'm trying to find the root plane where the base, I think, is actually underneath. So let me try to see what's going on at the bottom. So this one here, this yeah, that's way too big, I think. So let's see where it goes. This one comes from the top. I mean, it's a straight root coming out, which is good. It's just the size of it is a little intimidating because the rest of the roots are nowhere near that thickness. And if I let it go, it's just going to get thicker. Let's try to clean this up first. But it's a nice directional root that's coming out. So I think for now, you know what, I'm gonna wash this a bit more. There's a lot of mud inside. Once in a while I cut some roots off. So let me do that first. Okay, a little better now. So this root, I like the way it looks. It comes out fairly straight, curves a little bit, and I can take off this part. I can make this shorter so that it kind of curves around. And it's a good feature. It'll make the root flare look better and make it flare out more. So let me do this. I'm going to take this off here so that this one will go, and I'll make this shorter. So that it would continue on going back towards the original line where it came out of the trunk. It's really thick, and I don't know how this will turn out, but I'm going to leave it for now. I mean, worst case scenario, I would do something later on. I can always cut it off later. It's not a big deal. So we'll do an experiment and see how that one develops. Let's go around. I really want to kind of let me just prune some of these long ones shorter so that I can see easier. This big root, I will take it back a bit more. Okay, so I think these grew a bit too high on the root base because of the moss. So that's my root base. If that's my root base, then all these are a bit too high. So let me get rid of some of these and see what's underneath. Yeah, so there's the other one that's really big. So there's another root right here, which is quite large. I think that's okay, but I need to get rid of this. And I guess the tree was slanted like this. So you got this root growing here, and then you have this growing a little bit lower, which is okay, I think. If the tree was straight, it would be something like that. So let me clean this up a bit more. I can't tell if this is like mud or is it roots or what. It's all mesh together. So I could keep the tree slanted, and I should probably or it could go upright. They both look okay. If I do this upright, this root down here, the quite thick one, it kind of needs to be cut off because it right now it pushes the tree towards this direction because of what I did before. So okay, let me remove the one that's higher in the plane first. So this root is what I'm talking about. Right now it's a problematic due to the way that I planted the tree before. I guess that was a mistake. I should have just left it straight up, but now I have to do something with it. So okay, I wonder if I could just bend it. Doesn't look like it. So this whole thing needs to go. Okay, I'm going to do it. So this one is pretty good. This one is a bit low. So we'll take that out. I think so. I'm going to plant this tree upright now. I'm not going to do the whole slanting thing anymore. And because now it has nice branches, I don't think I need to slant it anymore. But because of what happened before, it messed up the roots. So I think this whole side here needs to be reworked. And my goal right now is that this will be the root base here, the line. So this side right now is a bit too low. So I'm going to keep this root. I think that's a good spot for development into the right side. But the bottom here plus the bottom here needs to kind of just go. This guy needs to go, it's going straight down. So I'm going to get the knob cutter for this. It'll be easier to get rid of. So there's lots of roots coming from the bottom. trying to make this flatter. So this is a Schefflera, which grows from cutting quite easily, which means that I could do a lot of root work and not worry about the tree dying. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. There's this guy here, which is, oh, I kind of cut off the bottom. Well, I might as well get rid of this. There's a root coming straight, oh, it's bad lighting, coming from here, and it branches to the right. I'm going to remove this one to the right so that it can go straight instead. Okay. It's really dense on this side right now, and I don't want it to be this dense when the other side is, you know, basically bare, so that it's balanced. So I need to remove some of this. I think if I don't do anything and leave it the way it is, it's just gonna, I don't know what's gonna happen, but maybe it's gonna be overdeveloped on one side and not the other. This one kind of branches down from the main branch, so I'll take that off. Yeah, I find that the root work is much, not harder, but takes more time definitely than branching sometimes. This is not. Okay, so there's one here that's really close to the big root. I'm going to get rid of that because there's not enough space for both of them. And looking from the bottom, this one I'll get rid of because it's already gone anyway. There's a smaller root close to the big one. I don't need it. So there is this one I'll keep. Okay, I'll clean up the bottom a bit. So we got this major root here. I'll keep these small ones. This one I'll keep. And I think these are okay over here. Maybe I'll get rid of some of the bottom ones. This is a branch or a root branch from this main big thing. It's kind of going down a little bit, so I'll get rid of that. So there's a branching here. I'm gonna cut this branch out so it goes that way. So there's this major root here. It divides into two. One's really thick, one is thinner. I'll keep the thinner one for now. The direction is better. And we'll let that divide. This one, I'll take it back a bit. Okay, so this one is pointing to the bottom. Get rid of these bottom pointing roots. This one is pointing to the top. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I think that's enough root work for one day. There's barely anything left, as you can see. But I'm not afraid because this is a Schefflera. We're going to see how this one develops over time. It's really thick, but it also gives that trunk girth. So I'll leave that on and we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to clean this area up and then we'll pot this up in the new pot. All right, I've got the new pot, which has soil already. So I'm just going to work the tree into the pot. I like this view. Shows my root. Shows the trunk is coming towards us, even though it's kind of hard to see from there. But let's just put it in here. Let's put it a little bit to the left. Don't have to kind of dig a hole here. It's a bit shallow when I potted this tree. Kind of, it's right at the surface. So I'm just going to pile some soil on top for now, and once the tree stabilizes, I can rake away the soil and hopefully expose some roots. But for now, I need more stabilization. And then I think eventually I'll get a rock or something, put it on the other side, so that you know, so it's not like empty on the right side. Okay. I don't think it was that straight. So for now, I'm just going to put this rock here, just so I can hold it in place, so it doesn't move that much. And I'm going to give it a watering. I think that's it for the tree. Actually, before watering, I'm going to try this bag of fertilizer that I got. It came with the pot. It's chicken manure, supposedly. That's what it says. So I'll put it around the tree. Try to spread it out a bit because I know the roots will grow everywhere. So I think that's fine. That'll need that much. Let's go to try it out. See if it does anything special. I'll wet the soil surface. Even though this mix doesn't have any perlite, so nothing should float. But you know, I thought I'd wet the surface anyway, and we'll water it. The drainage with the soil is quite good. The water never sits. That should do it. Okay, so I'll let it drain out. Looks like it's already drained. There's a big puddle underneath. The only thing I don't like about this pot is at the bottom, which I can't show you now. I should have showed you before. It's a really small hole. And there's only one hole for this entire pot. So putting a Schefflera in here is probably a good idea because it can take more water. And, you know, there's not that much chance of rotting. Where, you know, if you put a succulent or something like that in here, you might have sitting water in the bottom, and it might not be good. So anyway, I'm going to clean the area up, and then we'll put it on the turntable and spin it around. Well, that's it for the tree. It took a bit longer than I thought. I thought I wouldn't have to repot it, but I did. So the last thing for today is that Jay from Blue Jay Bonsai has dropped off a book for me. This book is Nigel's book, as far as I know. It's called Bonsai with Japanese Maples by Peter Adams. And I guess he read it, and then you know, he's just letting me borrow it from Nigel, I guess. And to be honest, I'm not good at reading books. I'm more of a hands-on person. But luckily, this book has a lot of pictures. So I think I'll be okay. Lots of pictures. So thanks, Jay, for dropping this off, and thanks to Nigel for letting me borrow it. You know, I'll make sure I'll read it. It might take me a while, but I'll read it. So yeah. Okay guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.